So today we're going to be looking at 5 of some of the most powerful characters in Tokyo Ghoul Re so far. 2 things I want to mention real quick. First of all, this is very opinionated. Your answers will most likely be different to my answers, which is perfectly okay. Second of all, I will be taking into account the character's future position. So Kaneki, Furuta, they are bound to get stronger in the future, no doubt about that, as well as some of these other characters. I also want to mention that because we are also looking into this character's future potential, this does not equivalent to the quote-unquote raw strongest characters. Not some of the most raw strongest characters in the series, but more so how much of an impact they bring to the table as well as their raw strength. So it's not just strictly a comparison between power level. I'm going to start off with an easy one. Let's talk about Eto Yoshimura. She is an obvious contender on this list, being one of the most powerful ghouls, raw strength, strategically wise. She's a very, very powerful character in general. It is debatable whether she is alive or dead. Some people may think she's alive, some people may think she's dead. That's perfectly fine. I personally think she's alive. Whether she has more to show us regarding her story and how she impacts Kaneki's life may not be all too much, but I do believe that there may be 1 or 2 more situations we see Eto, if she's still alive, and maybe potentially her full strength. I personally believe we have not seen Eto's full strength, which is also very debatable. I feel like just everything we've seen from her is kind of just too easy, too little, if that makes sense. In saying that, she has shown us an amazing amount of potential in her character, if not being a contender between being the most powerful character in the entire series. But ever since Tokyo Ghoul Re came around the corner, the power scales and everything along in general have kind of been teared down and rebuilt. Even though Eto is one of the most powerful characters in the series, it is debatable whether Kaneki could beat her or even Furuta at this stage in the current chapters of Tokyo Ghoul Re. Now, there is nothing basing those speculations. Like I said, this takes into consideration of these characters' futures, and I believe Eto is at her prime. Like I said, we may see 1 or 2 situations she goes full out in the future, but Kaneki has a lot more growth and expanding to do regarding his power, considering we have not seen what Kaneki's potential is. With that being said, the second character on this list is obviously Kaneki, our main character. It is without a doubt that Kaneki is one of the most strongest characters. I wouldn't consider him to be the most strongest character, considering it's questionable regarding other future characters where his potential really lies. Now, we have not seen Kaneki's full power, so it's very hard to judge regarding power scaling and where he sits regarding maybe Takizawa or Furuta or even Donato, who knows. But sooner or later, we're going to see what Kaneki's fully capable of, and then we'll be able to get a good gauge on how strong he truly is. In saying that, however, he has obviously the biggest impact on the story, considering he is the main character, but the potential of growth is also there. Kaneki, through the entirety of the Tokyo Ghoul franchise, has grown into a tremendous character, and he is currently sitting at his almost prime position. He still has a lot of growth to go through, but regarding his mentality and it changing throughout the course of the entire series, we will most likely not be seeing much of that anymore. There may be 1 more mental change that Kaneki goes through closer to the end of the entire series. It's without a doubt that Kaneki has a shit ton of potential, and he is extremely powerful, being crowned the One-Eyed King, taking on Arima twice, and just everything he has been through has obviously pushed him into the direction of being a very top tier character in the entire series. However, he is coming up against someone that is maybe not equivalent to him in strength, but strategic and future wise, he is also quite a big enemy, which leads us to our third character, Furuta. Now, not too much is known about Furuta. He is a very mysterious character. Everything regarding his strength, his potential, the only thing we have a good grasp on Furuta is that he is very conniving, he is very sneaky, and he is very smart. Obviously, at the moment, there is a war going on between Kaneki and Furuta, thus it being very early in the war, but potentially in the future, we shall see some very big things coming out from both sides, or both factions, I should say. For the longest time, I underestimated Furuta. Just the amount of power he could possibly have, I always kind of brushed him off to the side. Never knew that he would become the character of such caliber in the series. I never knew that he would sit at the moment opposing Kaneki as one of the main villains in the series, which for me is a big surprise, but at the same time, it has opened up my eyes to other characters that I have shunted in the past and maybe I should look into a little bit better, if that makes sense. So hopefully no longer I will underestimate characters which turn into absolute monsters later on. Now this brings us to our fourth character. So I have 2 here, so it's technically like 6 strongest characters in Tokyo Ghoul Re, whatever. Takizawa and Kuruna. At the moment, we are seeing some phenomenal things regarding Takizawa and Kuruna. Even without the recent chapters of Tokyo Ghoul Re, both Takizawa and Kuruna alone are very, very powerful ghouls and should not be underestimated. These 2 characters have the potential of carrying Kaneki's entire army in the future against Furuta. If these 2 characters stay alive, Takizawa and Kuruna, they will be very, very powerful assets for Kaneki. These are two almost full Kakaja ghouls that have gone through the extreme lengths of getting the power that they desire, getting the power that they even deserve, and in the current situations, their full power is very close to being used. I know Takizawa will be using his full power in the next couple of chapters, so definitely look forward to that if you're caught up. But both characters are very on par with each other at the moment regarding strength and just their future potential, but considering they kind of have the same role in Kaneki's group, so I expect some very, very good things to come out from these two characters, Takizawa and Kuruna, in the future. In saying that, brings us to our final character. Takizawa and Kuruna at the moment are versing one character that has so much potential that maybe a lot of us didn't see coming, and that is Amon. Amon at the moment has gone through a very weird situation. He is currently versing both Takizawa and Kuruna at the same time. That is a big achievement in itself. However, I envision a very big future for Amon regarding power and regarding being a linchpin for Furuta's group. If you guys don't know Amon's situation at the moment, I do understand it's quite confusing. It could be potentially possible that at the moment Amon is being used by Dr. Kanao, who is working with Furuta to basically manifest an artificial king. Now, if you don't know what an artificial king is, basically Dr. Kanao and the V organization have been trying to do this for a very, very long time, trying to recreate Kaneki, trying to create a ghoul that is powerful enough to harbor the One-Eyed King title. Amon could potentially be the first ghoul to be successful. He recently came out of a capsule with the labels RE on it, which stands for king, and it was very conveniently placed there next to two other tubes with RE on it also. In my head, it's safe to say that Dr. Kanao has managed to successfully create at least 3 ghouls that could be equivalent to taking the One-Eyed King title. That all revolves around power. If this is true, considering none of this has been confirmed, we can expect a very big future from Amon, whether he's being controlled by Furuta or if he somehow manages to escape and go to Kaneki's group. Either way it goes, which I see it going with Furuta's side, Furuta's going to use him as some sort of general of sorts, similar to how Kaneki is using Takizawa and Kuruna at the moment. Furuta using Amon is a very easy thing. He sends Amon to the battlefield to kill Kaneki's friends and to basically put himself in a better position. But if it goes in Kaneki's direction, if Amon were to join Kaneki's group, then it's safe to say that Kaneki has another massive contender to help him lead his group. So there is a lot of characters in Tokyo Ghoul Re that are very mysterious, and then we don't really know how powerful they are or how powerful they could be. For example, Donato and Yuta. This list, however, is kind of showcasing some of the top tier characters at the moment. These aren't in any order, there's no ranking between these characters, and your answers may differ to mine. So I want to know what you guys think. Who are some of the strongest characters in Tokyo Ghoul Re so far? Obviously, I didn't mention Arima because he is no longer with us. May he rest in peace. I also didn't mention potential V members that could be very powerful, like Kaiko and maybe even other hidden V members. I didn't even mention a good portion of ghouls that are very unknown to us that could potentially be even more powerful. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of characters that could potentially go above and beyond our current character list regarding power. All the characters that I named are respectively powerful and at the same time will most likely have a very massive impact in the future regarding their growth and their motives and everything along the sorts. With that being said, I'm actually going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and I'll catch you guys in the next video.